So today I used scrap wood and built a whole new version of the loft platform, the frame. You can see this is just recycled wood. I did go ahead and rip out everything because I realized that with the 2x4s, it was actually giving me, it was raising it up like 3.5, 4 inches. And it's already so tight. And I realized, my mattress, it's a hybrid, and I've got a bunkie board under that, so it's like 12 inches deep. So I was thinking, okay, I can't really afford like the 3 to 4 inches. So I decided to go ahead and rip everything out. These boards here were, they were like these rails. They were like a 5-inch distance, and then these rails that went like that. And then there was this really flimsy, some of this veneer stuff over the top of that. So I don't know, like some kind of shelf well thing, whatever. Turns out there's 10 inches of extra space lengthwise, so I'm guessing that they were just turning those into like some kind of like storage, kind of, like a caddy shelf thing. But I ripped it all out, and I'm going to do my own headboard here, and then this allows me to have, as much clearance as possible, so I just used recycled wood and a bunch of brackets, and same on the other side. These are just here, but yeah, so the only thing I have is that, but it's totally out of the way because, like I said, I have that 10 inches, so I think this is going to be better, and it is what it is, but I'm working with kind of like discovering as I go. And the good thing about deciding to rip all this out because of the height that I had was I discovered water had been coming in via a leak, and I was able to patch all that up in between rainstorms. We had rain, and that's what showed me the leak, and you can see it's over there. And I actually talked to some friends of mine who do carpentry and plumbing, and they're not experts, but they were telling me like they're pretty handy, and they were like, yeah, don't pour. I bought this like leveling rubberized sealant stuff, and they're like, yeah, don't do that. And so I returned it, and I just basically sealed up the exterior of the RV and made sure I caught the drip and really covered it. So now it's like good for a while, and I might have to reapply whatever in the future, but I did get some pretty good stuff, it looks like. So yeah, and then now this is in, so I'm just using flat brackets and screws, and I had kind of pulled this out, and this is what the previous owner did. They burnerized it. They made it ready for Burning Man with all this fake fur, and they used this like thing, this metal rill. So I decided to leave it because it's really pretty good insulation if you think about it. And then I'll just insulate under the bunkie board for this area. But I had enough scrap wood to go ahead and do 3 full cross beams and then 1 beam across there. And yeah, so I'm happy that that's done now, because now I can start actually moving on to the next stage of the loft install, which I think is going to be the headboard. All right. All right, so we can learn a lot from the micro hydro geomorphology, is what I would call it, of a site. And when you look closely, you can see that little bits of dead grass have, perpendicular to the direction of flow of this flood we had, this rain, with like a lot of rain. When it rains in LA, it really rains. And you can see that they've lined up perpendicular to that rate of flow to create these natural little miniature silt collections. Now this, if there were, I guess, just longer term observation, you would have buildup of silt, and you could actually do seeds right along here, up, I guess you could do downstream. And this would actually provide the welling up to allow the water to go into the soil a little more rather than over. And this is the beauty of organic material, right? It's pretty neat, just seeing this little miniature little thing that happened. This is what I'm going to do. This is what this African landowner did. He used rocks. I'm gonna do the same thing with rocks. I'm gonna just have rocks delivered. But yeah, look at this. Here we go. We have some silt build up. So you've got the organic debris, which formed like what the rocks are going to do. So anything that will physically block, provide a barrier. You've got there's little pieces of cardboard that my dog has chewed up, piece of the mulch, little twig, just seed pods, just random stuff. But it's created a barrier where it's gathered up enough from the direction of flow and carried by the water that it's actually stopped the material. And then what you have, you can see that this is the organic material line here, and then you have silt that's been washed downstream from up here, where there's just this loose, barren patch of soil. that's just hit with sun every summer really badly and can't really quite ever get anything to take root. I've been watering and planting jade and doing different things, but you know, no budget. But anyway, it's just like for fun, and I rent, so it's like I don't really care that much. But anyway, you can see that there's silt buildup, and then this would be ideal for planting seeds in. So this is the beginnings of a greater ecology than this, you know, invasive lawn that's probably just like a ryegrass exotic, you know, whatever. But this is so beautiful. This is like so powerful, and it's just this tiny little thing that if we notice this little stuff, we can actually replicate this on a macro scale and recover the land. Now look, you can see that this is happening with cardboard too. This piece of cardboard that the dog tore up created this physical barrier where the I guess dead grass was able to land. And then you can see there is a little bit of silt up there. This is the best example I've seen. For whatever reason, it just had the right conditions to create exactly what I look for. So I thought that was pretty neat. Well, I finally got the plexiglass cut, and then of course it broke, so I have this fix here temporarily. But I got it screwed into the top. It took a lot of work to get all the goo that had been there out so that I could fit this in here. And now what I'm kind of trying to figure out is this armature here. You can see that I've rolled it all the way so that I had to go inside the RV to do this so that it's all the way in, but now I'm noticing that it doesn't close. And this doesn't make a lot of sense to me because it's actually sticking out of the RV. You can see that it's actually outside. So I'm not sure how this is supposed to work exactly. I have a hard time believing that it wasn't meant to close all the way. It's probably either broken or I am missing something, because I'm just recreating this from like just discovery. There's no manual available. Yeah, so I'm not sure how this would actually close. Maybe what I'll do is just take that out and let it be a permanently closed window, because I have there's like a skylight with a fan in this, so it's like I don't really need to have a window that opens as well. I mean, obviously full functionality would be nice, but if it's not working, and I don't have anyone to help me, so kind of just have to figure it out. So I wonder if I could take this out. I mean, another alternative is just to like somehow create like a really big seal along this. I didn't really foresee this happening, but this is one of the projects I was dreading doing for the longest time because it felt overwhelming to me. But I didn't really foresee the armature sticking out of the RV. Maybe it's supposed to be up. Maybe this is wrong. Maybe this I'm gonna go try again. But anyway, you see the problem. Hopefully I can find a solution. Okay, so I think I figured it out, and I had a feeling I was gonna have to shave down the sides of the windows a little bit anyway, but this tells me kind of where the direction to go. But basically what I did was I just went inside and cranked it so that these do go in, but this is still sticking out, and I believe that's because these are hitting this, because the window itself needs to be like a little bit smaller. So I'm gonna use a Sharpie maybe and try to draw a line where I think like maybe it hits this piece here, like right there, and see if I can get it to fit so it'll close. Because now I've got it to where, yeah. This is definitely one of the harder projects on this RV. Okay, onward.